What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Duenkel Productions Podcast. I am joined today by someone who is one of the best sports talkers in the game, man. This dude, he knows what's up about the betting lines. He knows what's up about his New Orleans Saints. From Kansas University, my guy, LeBron hater, Gavin Goldstein. Woo! Let's go! Goldstein, how are you, buddy?
Dunk, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, dude, we're happy to have you on.
We're ready for our cup of tea, Dunk. I'm ready for the NBA. I've got some things to say about the NBA.
All right, Goldstein, what do you want to start off with? I'll let you tell us what we're starting off with here.
Let's just start off with some thoughts and thoughts going into the NBA season, just broad. I'll start it off because I'm ready to say my 2 cents regarding the Milwaukee Bucks. And while I think that it's tremendous Giannis stayed for the city of Milwaukee, because I've been a kid who's going to the BMO Harris Bradley Center, and I was never a Bucks fan at all, but I watched Steph Curry get lit up by Brandon Jennings for 55 points. And I was there to watch Curry. I had my Curry jersey on, and I was the only freaking person in that stadium with the Warriors gear on. But I was ready to watch my boy Curry, and Brandon Jennings, lit him up that night. So I've been going there for a long time, and there was nobody there for years. Nobody wanted to go to a Bucks game because why? Because they weren't that relevant, right? City Milwaukee's not a basketball city. They're not basketball fans. They're good. They're happy there because they're good, right? So Giannis leaves, and that brand new stadium, Pfizer Forum, would be a dump. They might as well just make it a homeless shelter, because there wouldn't have been anybody going to that stadium. So with that being said, Giannis, did he make the right decision? Well, that just depends. Does he want to be Shaquille O'Neal and win a bunch of titles and be one of the greatest players of all time? Clearly not. Does he want to be Karl Malone and have a lot of stats and not even sniff a championship? Probably. That's what you sign when the Bucks gave him that contract and said sign on the dotted line. He's signing for 0 titles. That's just what he's signing up for. City of Milwaukee is known. They can't get the job done. They can't win. Nobody wants to be there. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, is formerly known as, didn't want to be there. Wins a title there. Still doesn't want to be there. It's just not a basketball city. Never has been, never will be. It's just not a basketball city. And so, Giannis is going to go down as a great, great player, an all-time great, but he's going to be Karl Malone. No titles. Maybe he gets one if he leaves late in his career and joins the Bucks, joins the Lakers, joins the Heat, joins the Lakers, and, joins a team that might be good in the future. But I don't see him winning in Milwaukee. And with that being said, the East is so weak. There shouldn't be any reason why he doesn't win. It's not like he's battling the Clippers, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Grizzlies, the Mavericks. You could go on and on and on about the Western Conference and the strength that they have to play on a nightly basis. You go to the East, it's like, here, come play the Cavaliers, come play the Wizards, come play. Look at it. These teams are jokes, just jokes. It's like, and they still can't get it done. And last year, I predicted it from the start of the season. I've got to hear all the boys at school chat.
Oh yeah.
Here come the Bucks. This is our year. And I go, boys, but let's take it down a notch. I go, the Bucks can't get it done. They're the favorites every year in the East, and they can't get it done. Nope. And their fans are celebrating Giannis' contract extension like they won a championship. It's like, guys, you haven't even put on an NBA Finals jersey. Let's take it down a notch. You're not winning the championship. The amount of posts I've seen from Bucks fans, it's like, guys, congratulations, you're best player.
Right.
Every other team doesn't barely even post it. It's like, yeah, Curry signed another extension. It's just like it's a normal.
Yeah, well, LeBron and AD signed. Everybody's like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, well, LeBron, he likes to bounce from team to team, but
Don't see. We'll talk about him later.
That's neither here nor there. But you've got, it's like Bucks fans are celebrating like they won a title. It's like, guys, you remember that you just got embarrassed in front of the whole world in the bubble by Jimmy Buckets, the man that looked homeless, gave you buckets, and you got your hometown hero showing you, no pun intended, showing you what he can do to the Milwaukee guys. Those guys, And then they're talking, well, Drew Holiday this, Drew Holiday that. Doesn't matter to me. If the Bucks want to do something, here's the one thing I do think the Bucks could do to win a championship. If they want to do something, and this is going to be tough because, once again, nobody wants to play in Milwaukee, and they don't have any trade bait. But if they can somehow figure out a trade to get James Harden, I will totally – all of what I've just said has gone out the window, and I will reconsider what I said because I think James Harden and Giannis would be a match made in heaven. You got James, who's arguably, him and Durant are probably maybe Curry's in there too, but and Durant's probably above them all. But they're the three best scorers in pro basketball. I mean, those guys can score at will. And LeBron's not in there, Dunk. I'm sorry, he's
Luka.
not.
Luka though.
Luka's not in there either, not yet.
Dame.
No, Dame. Oh, don't even.
Dame time.
Yeah.
Goldstein, I gotta get you started, man.
You want? Here's my Goldstein stat. You got a dunk stat? Here's a trivia question. Name Damian Lillard's record when he plays Stephen Curry in the playoffs. Please tell me his record. And he's played more than 10 games. He's played 10 or more games. I'll give you that. So that's a hint.
Let's go like 2-15.
Well, that's not bad, but unfortunately, the guy can't beat him once.
Really? He hasn't beat him once?
0-10 against the Warriors in the playoffs.
Ooh. Well, okay. So
I'm watching the bubble, and these guys are just saying I won't even say the junk that's coming out of
Dame time.
And I'm watching, and I'm thinking, did you guys forget that the only unanimous MVP in NBA history, Stephen Curry's at his couch at home? And you're trying to tell me this guy's the best point guard in the NBA? And, I mean, come on. That is a joke. I mean, you got to say that for April 1st, man. Come on. I mean, it was just sick when I heard some of those announcers saying it. And luckily, Stephen A. defends it. He said Damian Lillard and Stephen Curry should not be mentioned in the same sentence. And I think that's true. Dame's the second best point guard in pro basketball, I think. But to compare him to Steph Curry is embarrassing. The guy hasn't even been in a finals yet, and you're going to compare him. And that's not his fault per se, but he has not been in a finals, and you're going to say he's as good as the best point guard in the last 30 years? Come on now.
All right, Goldstein. So just an FYI for anybody watching the show, Goldstein does not like the Milwaukee Bucks. He's not a huge fan of Bucks fans. And I'll say this, my one takeaway is it's great for the city of Milwaukee, like you said, Goldstein. They might win one title. But I'll tell you this, man. What I want to talk about is the Los Angeles Lakers, a.k.a. the Lake Show, man. I mean, hey, LeBron getting him signed back, huge. Anthony Davis on a 5-year deal, huge. And you quote my boy Gavin Goldstein, we had to bring in the bad brother from the LA Clippers, Montrez, the man, the myth, the legend, Montrez. Had to bring him in. Had to bring Dennis Schroeder in. How about THT, Goldstein? How about THT dropping 31? I know it's preseason, but how about it, man? How about it? All I gotta say, Goldstein, is let me say this, all right? I will say my MVP for next season is Luka Doncic. Luka about to go off, man. Obviously, Goldstein, you're probably thinking, Duenkel, he going to say LeBron going to win MVP in year 18. He's brainwashed to that brother. That's probably what you're going to say, something close to that. You're shaking your head, Goldstein, but let's keep it real, man. All right? Let's keep it real, though. My big takeaway is you got a guy coming into his 18th year, and LeBron James, the best player in the NBA, and he's going to show y'all what's up. Y'all were saying, oh, he won last year's title in the bubble. It didn't mean anything. He dodged the smoke of Skip Bayless. Oh, he dodged the Clippers. Oh, he dodged this team. Oh, he dodged that team. You know what, man? LeBron has been playing arguably the greatest team ever. Your Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant and them boys. He played the greatest team ever. Yes, he lost, but he played them twice. He's going up against the greatest team ever. With Kyrie Irving or should we call him Lyrie Irving? Because he be lying lately. Goldstein, don't even shake your head, man. What Kyrie said about that he looked to KD and said, this is the only guy that can make a clutch shot. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Have you not seen LeBron James? You know, you don't even need to tell me he's a 4-time champion, a 4-time Finals MVP. You know what LeBron has? And I know, Goldstein, you're probably going to laugh at this shit. but dude, LeBron has more playoff buzzer beaters than I think Kobe and Michael combined. Something like that, man. That's all I got to say, man, is LeBron, y'all need to understand that this guy has gotten hit by so many other things in his career. You know, like I'll say this, Gavin, like the only one that I could really hold on him is the 2011 against the Mavs. Okay, like that's the only one, man. Because you look at 2007, he was going up against the Hall of Famers as a you know, he was little Bron back then, you know. And then you take it through his career. You go through 2012, 2013 championships, lost to Spurs. Don't really hold that against them. Spurs were a good team. You know, they were looking for revenge. And then, you know, 2015, he goes up against the Warriors without Kyrie, Kevin Love. I think I would hold that one against him to some extent because he did have a 2-1 lead. And you know what? I will say, Goldstein, you know, even though he didn't win that series.
Uncle, what happened after the 2-1 lead?
Yes, Goldstein, I know. You want to know what happened, Goldstein? I'll tell you. LeBron James ran out of gas because he scored like 41, 45, and then 41. Like, I haven't seen someone do that, like, since Jordan, bro. Like, and LeBron is better than Jordan. We'll probably talk about that at the end of the show because, you know, I always got to give my words to Goldstein. But no, you know what? I'm done talking about the Lakers. The Lakers, they're the talk of the NBA. They're going to repeat this year. You know what I will say? I'm interested to see the Sixers this year. I'm interested to see the Bucks this year. I'm interested to see the Nets. I'm really interested to see the Nets. I think they will make the title and lose to whoever comes out of the West. Because I think, you know, Kyrie, man, he's all full of himself. He's like, diva. He's a diva. Now, Kevin Durant, that man is a bad brother. He is. But you know what, man? All I got to say, bro, is I'll take AD and Bron, and you give me any other two, and I'm taking AD and Bron. I mean, you could even pick from like Curry and KD are probably the closest thing that could come to you know, LeBron and AD as a duo wise. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, we'll see what happens when Clay returns. By the way, I Goldstein, since I got you on my show, I want to say prayers up to Klay Thompson, man. You know, I feel so bad for Clay. You know, I was really hoping we would get a Western Conference Finals. Goldstein's good old Warriors versus my Lake Shout for the Bucks. And we'll see what happens. But no, I mean, there's so much. I will say this, Goldstein, the fraudulent front-running Clippers, they're going to be back to their old selves this year. They're going to take an L to the Denver Nuggets in the second round. It's going to be Nuggets-Lakers in the conference finals. I know we'll probably get to our predictions later, but you look like you are in a really, like, you're really upset with a lot of what I said. So go ahead.
I've got to say a few things.
Oh,
we'll start off with Montrez, one of my favorite bench players in the league. I just love him, man. I love him. He's always got diamond chains. I'm sure you've seen it on the social medias of Kuz. He's got a lot of drip, and I'm a big Trez guy. With that being said, I'll give credit to the Lakers and LeBron for getting them over. But something I gotta say, and that I can't imagine, is how bad of an agent Rich Paul is. If you want to be absolutely screwed, you sign with Rich Paul. And let me get into it. There's a reason why all of these other players and agents are suing Rich Paul. Well, why would you sue your agent that makes you millions? Well, because when you sign a contract, here, Dunkel, let me ask you a question. Do you know who Jakob Podol is?
Jakob Pertl, yeah.
Okay. Would you say he's about as good of a player as Trez?
No.
I wouldn't think anybody would agree. Averages 5 points. Trez averages 19. Averages about 4 rebounds a game. Trez averages about 7 or 8.
Goldstein, your point?
My point is, Rich Paul was able to get his client, Montrez, the same contract as Jakob Podol. So, a guy that should probably be signing for we'll say $17 to $22 million a year is now signing for $9 million a year solely because Rich Paul, now don't get me wrong, he's done a great job, is LeBron's personal, how do I say this to keep this PG for the air? He's LeBron's puppet. LeBron's got strings behind Rich Paul's back, and he says, here, Rich, why don't you just do this, get this player to sign? Here, get me Anthony Davis, convince him to play with me. He's LeBron's puppet. And that's great. It's a testament to LeBron. I give him credit. That was smart on LeBron's part. But Rich Paul wouldn't be anything without LeBron. I mean, Rich Paul was nothing coming from Cleveland without LeBron. And I'll give LeBron credit. This is nothing against LeBron. This is great for him helping his homeboys out and helping these guys come up with him. But, I mean, what a terrible agent to get a guy the same. I mean, I was just furious when that contract happened.
But, Goldstein, you got to remember, who are these guys signing with? Oh, that's right. The defending champion Los Angeles Lakers with 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA. That's who they're signing with, Goldstein. You want to know something, man? I would take less money to play with my dude LeBron, man. My dude AD. Hey, you see AD rocking the Packer gear the other day, man? You see that, Goldstein? I know you saw that. I know you saw that.
Less money, but I don't take – I mean, Trez probably could have got an $80 million contract. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Probably 4 years, $80 million, I would agree. I don't think anybody would disagree. He could get easily something in that ballpark. Yeah. With that being said, he's getting $18 million for 2 years. He just cost himself the biggest house he could have in Beverly Hills. He just cost himself. Who cares? But I don't care. You play with that whiny and Dunk, I respect LeBron. He's the epitome of what you want your basketball player to be off the court. He's a heroic man. He does great things in the community. I have got so much respect for LeBron. But just to say, I don't care. I would rather go to the Bucks. You know how much I dislike the Bucks. I'd rather go to the Bucks for $80 million for 4 years than sign that contract to play on the Lake Show. A 1-year deal, fine. 2 years, right in your prime. Come on, Trez.
But Goldstein, there's an opt-out after 1 year, dude. You gotta read up on this stuff, Goldstein. Come on, man.
I'm so furious with Trez signing, let alone 1 year with the Lakers.
But
I hope Patrick Beverley takes his right fist and punches him square in the jaw, because after what he did to be on those boys and to be the underdogs and to fight for everything and then go and take the easy way out and say, you know what, I can't beat him, I'll just go to the Lake Show and not have to work hard.
Dude, Goldstein, you're missing the whole story, bro. So, you know what, Goldstein? I knew you were going to come in with the whole Rich Paul thing. So, you know what I did? I did some research. Montrezl Harrell, the Clippers didn't contact that man once. So, you want to know what Trez is thinking? He's like, you know what, man? The Clippers ain't want me. I'm going to the team upstairs in Staples Center. I'm getting out the basement. I'm going upstairs. I'm joining up with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, my main man, Frank Vogel, the man, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, and all the freaking boys and girls up in the Lake Show. And I mean, Goldstein, here's the thing. What better revenge you get than winning another title with the Lake Show, going back to back? And then, bro, you know what? LeBron be like, hey, Trez, man, you got to opt into that contract. We go 3-peating. Yes, sir, man.
I mean, I will admit, Jeannie Buss is the worst owner the Lakers could have. She's just lucky. She's terrible. She's terrible. And there's no
terrible.
She's terrible. She's a horrible owner, and I don't want to hear it. She got lucky that old man Jerry was lucky enough to give it to her. He He was what built the Lakers, not her. She doesn't do anything. She didn't do a lick. Magic Johnson built that team. Jeannie Buss didn't do anything. Okay, yeah, Rob Pelinka, that's fine. But Magic's the reason LeBron went there, not Rob. Rob is with Kobe. Rob isn't the reason LeBron went there. Magic's the reason LeBron went there. Because Magic said, "Here, you want to be the star. You want to be the Hollywood guy that we all know you want to be, LeBron. Come to the Lake Show. Come to the Staples Center. Be in Los Angeles. Be on the Lakers." That's the reason he went there.
But Goldstein, let's give Jeannie some respect though, because I believe she's the first women executive to be able to win the title. But Goldstein
inherited it. It's just because she inherited it from her pops. Nothing to do with what she did. She's a terrible owner, and you will not change my mind. She messed that team up. She had Kobe at the end of her career, and she couldn't do anything with it. She messed that team up. She's lucky that Magic was there for that short period of time and was able to get LeBron there, because without LeBron, they would still be a laughing stock in the NBA.
Goldstein, did I just hear those words come out of your mouth? A compliment towards the man LeBron James?
Uncle, I've always wanted to compliment LeBron when compliments are necessary. And I will admit, I've admitted this many times. I think LeBron is closing that gap between Jordan and LeBron. And I have admitted this many times. I will not say LeBron is there, because he is not. Jordan is the GOAT, 100%, end of discussion. But Jordan is the GOAT right now. Now, if LeBron gets to 7 rings, maybe we reevaluate, because I don't care if LeBron minimum has to get to 6. If he gets less, boom. I think you throw all the talk out of the window. And because if he gets to 6, I will admit, and I've had this discussion with Will Kavner, and he thinks that I'm just a LeBron fanboy now, believe it or not. And I was like, I will disagree, because I will say LeBron's going to break a lot of records. Most likely he's going to break points. He's going to be like the highest guy. He's going to be the first ever guy, forgive me if I'm wrong, to be top 10 in assists, rebounds, and points, I believe.
Yep.
And the one thing that will hurt him, and this is a valid point, and there's just no defending, is the fact that Jordan was able to stay on the Bulls and win on the Bulls.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for just grinding through. He couldn't beat the Pistons, but he just said, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna figure out how to beat him. Part of that, the reason LeBron couldn't do that was Cleveland was unable to give him any help. They could not give him that. They didn't give him his Scottie Pippen. They didn't give Kobe got Shaq. He joined Shaq, but he didn't have that companion.
Right.
To be able to. So if Cleveland would have gave him if Cleveland would have given him let's say who would be helpful in that era, but
that's like 07, 08 range.
Yeah, I mean, if Cleveland could have gave him I don't even know who would be, a beast back then, but I don't even know. If they could have given him some guy that was like that, of that caliber, though, and given him some help, I think LeBron maybe sticks it out. Does he? Probably not, just based off of how much LeBron wants to jump around, go to South Beach, back to Cleveland, back to L.A. And he's not even going to finish I almost cussed there, but he's not even going to finish his career on the Lakers. So that's the one thing that I will admit I've just got no excuse for, because Will always says, well, he just jumps around to win titles and never actually persevere. And I disagree, because given coming back from 3-1, that's persevering. Nobody's ever done that. And that was against my team. And that was one championship.
Well, and in the bubble too. I think Goldstein, I think people are understating the bubble. Like, I get it, like, probably for us, it's like, it's the bubble. Who do you really have to,
They're still in luxury. I don't care.
But dude, it's a grind, man. Like, it's a grind, dude. Like, I usually don't promote other shows, but man, on that road tripping thing that LeBron was on with Richard Jefferson, Shane Fry, and Allie Clifton, I believe, if I'm right. But man, he was like, I won the 2 Artists championships. I'm like, you know what, LeBron? There's a little bit of sense to that. But Goldstein, I have a question for you though. So you were like, LeBron is Rich Paul's puppet. So what am I to LeBron then? I want to hear what you have to say.
Rich Paul's LeBron's puppet.
Okay, yeah.
LeBron's able to have strings behind Rich Paul's back, and if LeBron controls this string, he moves this arm. And he's a puppet. He's completely a puppet. Rich Paul, I don't even think he can function without LeBron telling him what to do. I don't know if Rich Paul would be able to eat breakfast if LeBron didn't say, "Here, Rich, eat these eggs and some oatmeal." I don't think Rich Paul could do that without LeBron being there.
All right, what about me and LeBron though? What's a comparison for him? Because the show wants to hear this.
You know what I say you are to LeBron, and I can't say it on the show.
All right, well, come up with something appropriate, Goldstein.
You know what your name is on Snapchat, and that is not appropriate. And it's been that way for probably 700-800 days. So that'll not change, and it'll never change. But
so just a little background on this, Goldstein. We're gonna tell the story, but we're obviously gonna keep it PG. So we're chilling in what, science class, I believe, Goldstein. This is when me and Goldstein, I think we really became friends. I believe this was my sophomore year and your freshman year.
My sophomore year, junior.
Okay, so this is when me and Goldstein really became really good friends. We knew of each other before. I knew he was a big LeBron hater. We obviously talked in the hallway all the time. But back in high school, me and Goldstein, we were in, I believe, chemistry, right, Goldstein? Yeah. So we were in chemistry class. It was a study hall. And the boys, we were all chilling, and we were looking up highlights and stuff. It was like the end of it was some time during a break, like when we were about to get off of school for a while. We had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
And we're looking up highlights, and Goldstein and I are going back and forth about LeBron. Like, Goldstein, why do you hate LeBron? And he's like, he moves around too much. Yeah, he's not clutch. All this stuff. I mean, there's probably more, but we're sitting there and we're talking, and I think it's me, you, Andrew Hernkar. I believe Orloff is in this, right? And Gavin. We're all chilling there at the table, I believe. And that's when really, really took off, bro, because I remember we added each other's phone numbers, Snapchats, all that stuff, and we would talk about like basketball all day, every day. Like if basketball season was going on, like you would text me, like, dude, I remember, man. I think we met in after 2016, right? It was 2017, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And this was when LeBron was going up against the Warriors, and I told you, I go, Goldstein, this is going to be a tough title for LeBron to win. And he's like, really, you ain't got confidence in your guy? I'm like, man, I do have confidence in my guy, but you know what? He's going up against the greatest team. And I remember you FaceTimed me after Game 5, and I was devastated, bro. Like I was not happy, bro. You remember this, obviously. I was not happy because like LeBron balled out, dude, and we still lost.
It was a gentleman's sweep. I mean, they respectfully cleaned the floor and cleaned up the confetti with LeBron's face and said, "Here, LeBron, we're gonna smoke cigars. You can join. You can do this in a few years."
But no, Goldstein, I wanted to ask you. So we were talking. Obviously, you kind of mentioned that LeBron can pass Jordan. If LeBron wins this year and the year after that, bringing him to a three-peat in Los Angeles, do you think that puts him ahead of Jordan or no?
Well, no. I don't think it puts him past Jordan with that, but I think it gets him. It could get him tied essentially with Jordan. With that being said, I would think it all just depends how this goes. He could be below Jordan if he averages 20 and 7, and I don't think that happens, but if he averages 20 and 7 and they win the next two, it's like, all right, AD just took over. AD is the star of the show.
Right.
But I think we can all agree. LeBron says it, but I disagree with LeBron. He says it's AD's team. We all know it's not AD's team.
No.
LeBron runs the show. He's still the king. He just is. Like he averages 25 and 10. He leads the league in assists, something he's never done in year 17, which is very, very impressive. So I think if LeBron were able to average 25, maybe even more, maybe 27 in a year,
right.
And when he just the key is he can't afford to lose a Finals MVP to Anthony Davis, and because. Like Jordan, I believe Jordan won. He's won all 6, right? Yeah, like he's 6-6. So 6-0, 6 Finals MVPs, and I think that is just going to be tough to overcome. Given 6-0 in the Finals, he gets it done every time. And I know he's lost more in the first round, blah blah blah. But it's something about getting when you get there to win it all. And I don't think that's as big of a deal with LeBron because I think Jordan never faced the Warriors. Like, the Pistons are great. They're not the Warriors.
Or even the Spurs. I would say.
No, I would say the Pistons could. Well, the Spurs are more of a dynasty, but the Spurs were at the end. They were past what they were really, and so, I mean, I just that Dallas thing. I know that's just really tough to get out of your head, but I think LeBron needs 7. I know that's gonna be tough, and I think he can do it because I think he's gonna play long enough. LeBron says, like he doesn't know how long he'll play, but what's LeBron? I know LeBron. Like, what's LeBron gonna do when he doesn't have basketball? Maybe, he's got a lot to do off the court, but he still loves the game. He's gonna want to play that absolutely long as he possibly can, and especially if Bronny continues to perform at the level he might be able to be in the pros with him, and that would be really fun to watch. So I think that's gonna be LeBron's, goal. So if he can stay and maybe win, 7's gonna be tough to do, but because he's only got 4 now and he got it to 7, but it all just depends how these next. If he plays 4 more years, wins 2 of those 4 rings, gets to 6, but he wins maybe another MVP, maybe 2 more MVPs, and then he continues to average 25 or more for the next 4 years. That puts him to what, 39, 40-ish.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy number.
Then I say, how can you not say that guy's the GOAT to perform at that level until age 39 or 40? That's something that Jordan can't say. Because Jordan took those years off. And I get it, he's grinding playing baseball, but it's something about that mental refresh of not playing basketball. LeBron's has just performed each and every year for his whole career. So that's really impressive to me.
Yeah, well, and Goldstein, obviously – I think you have definitely came a long way since we were in high school of being kind of objective with LeBron now. I don't know if it's because, he's not playing the Warriors anymore in the finals, and it's not such a super ordeal. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if you just respect him more. Maybe you just said, hey, LeBron does a lot of good off the court and he's really good on the court. But no, Goldstein, I will say this. You know how I feel. I think LeBron's better than Jordan right now. And I think it's because of what he does on the court, just all around. When I watch LeBron, this year, in year 17, in the bubble, this man was playing defense. And he was playing at a level I haven't seen since 2011 when he played Derrick Rose in that conference finals. He literally took on Kawhi, took on Paul George, took on Jamal Murray. He took the challenge of these guys. He took on Jimmy Butler in Game 6. I think really too what it says for me, Goldstein, is you look at Jimmy Butler, man. This man went off in Game 5. He scored 45 points. He was absolutely gassed the next game. LeBron James, how he conditions himself, how he keeps going each and every game. And he never gets burnt out. Yes, he got burnt out in that 2015 finals. I think it was because he really didn't have help. When you look at that team, he was talking Matthew Dellavedova, Ivy, Tristan Thompson had to spend a night in the hospital or something. It was a crazy series. It was a while ago, so I don't exactly remember. All I remember is I was screaming on my couch during Game 3 thinking, man, LeBron's actually going to do this. And then, it kind of let me down. But, LeBron's given me a lot of good memories. And I will say, Goldstein, a lot of people are probably going to laugh at me for this comment. But you know what? I think it says something, too, for LeBron in this debate, what kind of a role model and off the court person he is. I'm not saying it should be a big deal, but it should be counted some. LeBron has done extraordinary things. You talk about the I Promise School. You talk about the More Than a Vote campaign, getting people out to vote this year. And just all the other things. Being a good role model. Being a good leader. Goldstein, we've obviously talked about this. I think LeBron's a better leader now than he's ever been. He's leading really well right now. I think that says a lot. And obviously, Goldstein, people are gonna laugh at me for that comment. Oh, you think off the court matters in the GOAT debate? I'm like, it's a part of it. it's a part of it because, LeBron's done stuff off the court and on the court that we've never seen anybody do. There's a lot he's done. And, this is a debate, Goldstein, that'll be going on for years to come. And you know what? I'll say this. LeBron's a GOAT to me. I know that you think he has a shot at passing him. I legitimately think LeBron will get 6 rings. I think me and my dad were talking today, and my dad, he doesn't like LeBron either. He's a big Michael Jordan guy. We get into very extensive arguments about the GOAT debate, LeBron, Jordan, all that stuff. It's actually pretty funny to listen to when we're in the basement watching stuff and talking. But no, I think LeBron, he's gonna win it this year. And then I think next year, I think he'll probably win it next year. And then I think the year after that, you're going to see the Warriors. They'll come back and win one. I think the Nets will come back and they'll win one eventually. I will say, Goldstein, I think the Warriors will win one. I do. I'm going to give it up to you. I know you're a big Warrior fan. We'll probably finish the show with that. But I think they'll win one more. I don't think it'll be this year. Obviously, Clay's down, and next year I think it's going to take them a year to kind of regroup and get right, and then you look out for the Warriors. I think, it's basketball is going to be fun this year, Goldstein. We got a lot of good teams, and I think we're doing awards, right? Is that what we're finishing it out with, or what?
Yeah, we'll finish it out with that. I've got. I'll lead us off. I'll get my MVP. Your Luka pick, that is intriguing to say the least, and definitely makes sense because people like a storyline, right? Like they like to say this is the guy. Like, oh, he's like that because Luka's not gonna be the best player in the league. He's not this year. He will be, but I got to go with Curry. I mean, you know me.
Okay.
Just because I do like Luka, so I'm kind of impartial. I'll give Luka a 50-50 shot of get it. But I'm going to give about a 15 to 10% shot to Trae Young winning MVP, actually, because people forget how bad of a man he is. He and I said this coming out of college. Will Kavner will vouch for me. I showed him highlights. He goes, Gavin, I don't even know who Trae Young is. I go, Will, I predicted Curry's success, and I'm going to predict Trae Young's success. I go, I've never seen a guy that reminds me of Curry, and Trae Young was the guy who reminded me of Curry.
Where did Trae Young go to school?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
He was a top recruit coming in, and he's a 5-star recruit. And people forget last year, 4th in points per game at 29.6, I believe, and a little over 9 assists a game, and 2nd in the league in assists. People forget. I mean, how is nobody people Luka Doncic this, Luka Doncic that? People forget how good Trae Young really is. So I'm going to have to go, honestly, I'm going to go my sleeper MVP pick because it's easy to pick the best guys. I'm going to go Trae Young. And the Hawks might even sneak into the playoffs this year. Their team's looking a little better. They got Bogdan. They got Rondo, playoff Rondo, as Dunk will say. So I think Rondo could help Trae out a lot. But, I mean, I think you could look to see Trae average right around 30 a game again and that 9 assists again. And he does that and they get into the playoffs. I think you could see Trae Young possibly win that MVP.
That's an interesting pick. That's a very interesting, Goldstein.
And then for my coach of the year, I'm going to go my man, Steve Kerr. Because I think even though the NBA has been disrespecting the Warriors, I just saw a report today, or maybe it was yesterday, but I sent it to the boys. Anonymous NBA executive said he guarantees the Warriors stand no shot of making the playoffs this year.
No, they will.
I think Steph Curry is going to come. He's been hearing all the disrespect. Curry this, Curry that. Dame's better. Dame's the best. Dame dollar. Dame time. Dame whatever. I mean, once Steph gets out there, there's no better point guard in the game, and it's not close. Steph's the best in the league, and he's going to prove this year. He's going to average 28, 7, 28. He's going to say, don't forget about me. I'm still that guy. I'm still that killer. I'm still going to have my 50-point games. I'm going to have my 10 threes a night games. It's just he's going to show people who he really is. And so if that happens, I think, the Warriors might get that maybe top 6 seed maybe, and that might be enough for Kerr to win Coach of the Year, maybe. Maybe you give it to Steve Nash, depending how the Nets do. Because the Nets play well in the East, you could give it to Nash. But that's who I'm going to go with. My most improved, this is a tough one. There's a couple of names I'll throw around. One being Kevin Porter Jr. from the Cavaliers. He got in a little trouble with his pistols, but now he's he got those charges dropped, so he's in good shape, and I think he could be a sleeper. But my final pick for most improved is Michael Porter Jr. I think the Nuggets have got a real star in him. I think the Nuggets might be one of the biggest jokes of an organization for the mere fact of I think they've got Michael Porter Jr. If he had 30 points one game, they're going to play him 10 minutes a game the next game. That just doesn't make sense to me. How can you have a guy that arguably looks like your best player at times, and I'm never going to say he's better than Jamal and Jokic. How could you have a guy that looks like your best player at times, your best scorer at times, and then you put him on the bench and say you're never playing again? I mean, what a joke. But I think they're finally going to give him a chance to finally get consistent minutes, and with that, I think he'll win Most Improved. And my Rookie of the Year, it will not be Edwards, it will not be Wiseman, but it'll be LeVar's protege, LaMelo Ball. I think I'm a huge LeVar guy. I've been talking to people for probably 4 years about what a star, what a great husband, what a great father LeVar is. I think there's a lot of athletes that LeBron even said this. He said I would love to have a guy like LeVar growing up to be supportive. He goes, if you listen to LeVar, he never says a negative thing about his kids. He's just always positive. He's always helping them. It's always increasing their recognition, increasing their brand. I mean, how many other guys who can't even be playing an NBA game are talked about as much as LiAngelo Ball? Nobody. But that's because of LeVar and the brand and the recognition he's created around his boys.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think LaMelo is going to have some ups and downs. He's going to have some really bad shooting nights, some 4 for 19 nights, and some really bad shooting nights. But I think you're going to see some 30 and 40-point outbursts out of LaMelo.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's just you saw him a little bit last night. He had some flashes and his flashy passes. And I just think with this rookie class, it's another sleeper for Rookie of the Year that I will say, but not going to be my pick, but sleeper will be Isaac Okoro from the Cavs. I really like some of the Cavs young players, but that guy looks like a killer, man. He's hit 2-game winners in the preseason already. So,
oh, dude, just wait till they get Bronny James, bro.
Then LeBron will have to bounce again. He'll have to leave for his 900th time.
I mean, dude, honestly, I want him to play 1 year in Cleveland and out. I think that'd be cool. But anyone else go to any other awards that we're doing here?
I mean, do you got any other ones? That's all I can think of. I mean, we could go defensive player.
Defensive, yeah.
Who won it last year? Did Giannis win it last year?
Giannis.
I mean, it's going to be tough to go against Giannis. He's a great defender. And I mean, maybe you go Gobert, I guess, but I still think you go Giannis. You can't go LeBron. If you're going to say LeBron, that's just blasphemy. An overrated defender that makes big plays, and I'll leave it at that.
That chase down block against Iguodala. Yeah, Goldstein. I know you have bad dreams about that game, man. I know. Yeah, and I'm always going to be here to remind you of that game, Goldstein. 2016, Game 7.
I'll remind you of one win in 2 years, the worst finals record in 2 years of any player in history. I'll remind you of that.
Doesn't matter. But all right, I'm going to get into mine, Goldstein. I'm going to start at the top this time with MVP. I'm going Luka Doncic, man. I will say Curry is probably my second pick, but I like Luka this year. I think he's going to have a really good year. I'm a huge fan of Luka's. I honestly think Luka might be my guy once LeBron retires. That might be how it's looking, Goldstein. What are your thoughts on that? Or you think I should just pick a team instead?
I mean, you can do as you please, but Luka, yeah, I mean, he's mainstream now, but I mean, he's a beast. He's the real deal, no doubt about that. But I mean, you can do whatever you want. You could stay with the Lake Show. You could go back to Cleveland. I don't know what you'll do, but you can do whatever. But I mean, luckily, I don't think I'll have to worry about it because I think Curry's just going to be so loyal. He'll stay at the Warriors for life. Maybe he'll go to the Hornets for his last couple of years to finish it out in Charlotte.
Hey, maybe I'll join you.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, you can come to the good side if you please, but
I'm just playing. I never joined the Warriors. You know how much heat I'd get for that. Lord have mercy. But Coach of the Year, oh man, this is tough. But you know what, man? I'm a Laker homer. I'm going with Frankie V. I think the Lakers are going to have an insane season this year. Everyone's thinking they're going to be the 2 or 3 seed because AD and LeBron are going to be resting. I think Vogel. I think LeBron said in his little piece after the finals, Coach Vogel wants his respect. Well, he better get some, man, because this dude's doing extraordinary things. He's my pick, but I will say, Goldstein, your Steve Kerr pick, I like that as a sleeper. Just so now I'm going most improved player, man. This is a tough one, man, but I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum or Bam Adebayo. I'm gonna go with Bam though, because I think Tatum's already a star on the scene. I think Bam's gonna have a really good year. Just signed that big extension with the Heat. I think you're gonna see Bam play really well this year. I was thinking about going with Tyler Hero and then playing Tyler Hero. That's a great song. Goldstein, I don't know if you've heard that song.
Yeah.
Also, Goldstein, shout out to the chair behind you. Hashtag the Big Joe. That's a classic in me and Goldstein's FaceTime calls. If you know, you know. But no. Bam, most improved player. And then what am I on here? Defensive player of the year?
Yeah.
AD, man. AD on the way. This man can do so many things on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's either him or Giannis. And I think Giannis is going to do I think Giannis is, he's going to take a little bit of a step back defensively this year. I think they might rest him more to get him more fresh for the playoffs. Something that a lot of NBA teams are starting to obtain now is the load management started by the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, a.k.a. the choke artist. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really interesting NBA season. But Goldstein, last in 2020 Finals winner and MVP. Who you got?
I'll give you my finals matchup. I got the Lake Show. And this is where it gets tough because I've got 3 teams I'm considering. I got the Bucks, and that hurts me to say, but they've got the second best player in the East, so that'll always give them a chance. You've got the Nets, but I just think Kyrie might blow that up. Kyrie just can't help but mess things up when there's a win team. And then I've got the Heat because the Heat are going to be better, and the Heat, if they get James, then that's a team I think because I think right now the Lakers win. Maybe if they play the Nets, they got a battle because I think KD, he's not going to be scared of LeBron. He'll lock him up. He always does. He'll hit 3 balls over him to win the game. He don't care. He'll do what he's got to do. He lights them up, But you've seen it. I don't even need to go into it.
You don't need to go into details. Goldstein.
1 win in 2 years. You've seen it.
Goldstein.
So, with that being said, I think the Nets give him the toughest chance. But if James Harden goes to the Heat, LeBron has got to work. Because if the Heat can get James, if they can somehow keep Tyler and Jimmy and Bam and Precious Achiuwa, I think those are some bad men. And they are not going to be scared of LeBron. James is not going to be backing down to LeBron. They're going to play tough basketball. And Pat Riley is just one of the best president of basketball operations there is. So I think the Heat if they get James, but it's going to be tough to predict that. So I'll say the Heat if they get James, but I say if the Heat don't get James, I got to go the Bucks. I really, really, really pains me to say it. I can't stand them, and I'd love them to lose in the first round. But I'll go with the Bucks, and I'll go Lakers in 6. LeBron says, Giannis, you still can't win. Nice decision.
Who's the Finals MVP, LeBron?
I'll go Anthony Davis, actually. Just for the mere fact that the old man's body might be slowing down a little. But then again, though, I mean, LeBron will probably turn it on, but I'll go Anthony. Well, I guess it depends who Giannis guards, right? If Giannis guards LeBron, then it'll probably be AD. If Giannis guards AD, it might be LeBron. But I'll go with just a crazy pick. I'll say AD.
All right. Well, you already know who I got winning the title, and you already know who I got winning Finals MVP. Who do I have playing them now? I mean, man, I cannot go against the baddest man in the Eastern Conference, that man Kevin Durant. Can't go against him. I think the Heat are going to give him their best shot. I don't think the Bucks are. I think the Bucks lose in the second round again. Goldstein, that's probably music to your freaking ears, my boy.
It is. It would be.
But no, I think really it's going to be interesting to see. But I just think that the Nets, they're going to be like a 4 or 5 seed. They're going to play Milwaukee in the second round, and I think I trust Kevin Durant a little more than I do Giannis. And then I think it'll be probably Heat Nets to see who goes to the finals. I'm gonna go with the Nets. I will say, though, I think the Lakers beat the Nets because I think LeBron and AD are better than KD and Kyrie combined. I think LeBron and KD are they're pretty similar. I think LeBron's a little bit better than Kevin Durant at this point right now. But I think AD is a much better than Kyrie. AD is a better second option. And I would have LeBron win an MVP. I think this series would probably go about 6 games as well. I don't see the Nets. I think if the Nets had a better second person with KD, they have a better shot. But with KD and Kyrie, I don't think they match up well against the Lakers, especially the way they play defense. Vogel's he's gonna try and key on Kevin Durant and make him uncomfortable. And AD can guard KD. I mean, he can. He's a really good defender. And LeBron, maybe LeBron guards Kyrie, which would be pretty freaking awesome to watch LeBron lock up Kyrie for a whole 6 games. I would definitely enjoy it without a doubt. But Goldstein, man, this has been like an hour and 40-minute show. I don't know exactly how long this has been. But dude, I want to say thank you. This is an honor. It truly is, man. I'll let you add anything else. But we greatly appreciate it from all of us over at the crew at Duenkel Productions.
Yeah, Dunk, thanks for having me on, man. I know how much time and effort you've been putting into this show, and I'm glad to see everything's going well and you're doing well. But I think everybody should just appreciate how much work Dunk's been putting into this. Like, this guy's been putting in work every single day to grow Duenkel Productions and Dunks. And I know there's other guys too, and I don't want to name them because I don't know them all. So, but I just know all the other guys, and there's a few of them that I know pretty well that they're putting in a lot of work with this, the production. So congratulations all you guys, and thanks for having me on, man.
Shout out to Jake Mueller. Shout out to him, manager, social media director, all the above, does a lot, runs our IG lives on Thursday and Sunday. You guys probably, if you watch our lives, you see a lot of Jake. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the guests, anybody that's been on the show. And Goldstein, I appreciate your kind words, man. It means a lot. I don't think people really understand how much work you have to put in to make something happen. And, obviously I'm happy with the guys that are helping me out. Jake has really been the big driving force with me on this. Jake, if you're watching this, thank you. And everybody, if you stay through the whole thing, me and Goldstein really appreciate it because this video is going to be long, legitimately long. But thank y'all for watching. Goldstein, we'll talk a little bit after, make sure everything's all good. But thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. Goldstein, thank you for the kind words. And shout out to everybody at Duenkel Productions for making this thing grow and helping everybody out. We appreciate it. Peace out.